Is this on? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I got home late this morning, and so I barely got here in time and only got to look at a couple articles. But one that just jumped out at me like, poof, bam, bang. Excuse me. Was one where apparently last night at the Democratic National Convention, the Democratic National live stream, apparently one person in particular seems to have gone off script. And I just found it fascinating. I mean, fascinating. Because I don't know if this was planned or if this was actually going off script. So we're going to start with that, and then I'm just going to go through my aggregator and pick out articles here and there, and we'll see what happens today. But before we do that, obviously, I need to play the intro. Johnny! Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And stop the music. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, Marty, also known as PDawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawg Knight Channel. It is actually Wednesday this time, the 19th of August, 2020, and I am so happy that you are here. And those of you who are strolling in, you'll probably figure it out that I remembered to turn my mic on today. Awesome, right? Yeah, that's awesome, right? And, it's hump day. I love saying that on Wednesdays. And I also have my cup of reparations coffee, as I do every day. If you have a cup, pick it up. Let's all do one of those Scott Adams things and the simultaneous sip. He's so calm when he says it, too. I'd like you to, I think we should take the simultaneous sip. All right, pick it up, drink it up, turn around. Even white boys got to shout. I don't think that's exactly the lyric, though. I think that's from something else. What is that from? Anyway, good damn morning, Americans. I'm using everybody's taglines today. If you know whose tagline that is, type it in the chat. That's somebody else's tagline. Speaking of the chat, let's say good morning to everybody before I get going, because this is one of those days where I'm kind of winging it. But the one article I'm just kind of going through, like, oh, what am I going to pick today? What am I going to pick today? Whoa, what happened here? That's what I did. And I'm like, bam, I'll click that one, and everything else is going to be, just off the cuff or whatever. But anyway. First in the chat today was my friend from down under. That would be Mr. Richo. Who gets the bell? Hot diggity dog diddy. Boom, what you do to me. Good morning, Avocados Diabli, Grillin' Pirate Pete, Zero the Hero, Big Assassin 80, Tarai Deos, Mike Savage Blarg, Purple Pill Perspective. Nice to see you actually here. Now, let me just do a little shout out to Purple Pill Perspective, because he's one of those people who watches the replays and puts comments in the chat. And I really appreciate that. If you're watching this as a replay, put a comment in the chat section. I might not always get to it, but I do appreciate knowing who's been dropping by. Also, good morning to Midday Sin. Let's see. Sheograph, what's up? Howdy bigots, he says. Or Sheograph? Sheograph, yeah, he. And Renee Mayette, good morning. Jonas Pedersen, what's up? Stabbing Joe Scarborough, keeping the knife sharp. D.I. Freighter Watcher, Dark Isle, Sean D.W., Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
We also got John Smith. Yes, the venerable John Smith. Hey, have you met Elizabeth Warren out of curiosity? Anyway, also, let's see. Who else is here? The Cynical Lindsay, Amy in Connecticut. Did I miss anybody here? I hope not. Cindy Rochelle. Hello. I did say Cindy Rochelle, didn't I? I think I did. And also, good morning, Attack Alpaca and Gunfox61. And everyone's just rolling in, remind people to hit the like button here and there. I'll remind you. If you like what I do, I'm going to remind you at the end. But if you have to leave early, just before you go, hit the like button. That helps. And share the stream out like you do, and with the arrows and Twitter, Minds Gab, and Parler, and all that stuff. And if you want to do super chats, you can do that at pdawgnight.live. That thing will pop up in the chat once in a while. Throw a couple bucks in the tip jar. Daddy needs some new shoes. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about this. This, I don't know what it was. I really don't. I just saw this. I didn't get a chance to watch the Democratic National Convention. I kind of, saw some things this morning before I went to work. I saw a couple things that happened, and then I got home and I'm like, okay, I got to go through my aggregator, but I don't have time. But what am I going to pick out? And this one threw me off, because remember when the Democratic National Committee said, okay, they're going to give John Kasich a spot to talk, and Michelle Obama a spot to talk, and even Bill Clinton. I got to see what he said, because Bill Clinton has some issues that apparently the Democrats don't care about. But anyway, but then they gave Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez 60 seconds. That's all. Good morning, Brutus. What's up? Oh no, we're not going to spend a whole time in the DNC, Brutus. Don't worry. It's going to be kind of random today. No. Joe Biden didn't go off script. They gave Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they gave her 60 seconds, right? And this is supposed to be a love fest for Joe Biden because he's the presumptive nominee. But I don't know if AOC got the memo, because AOC nominated Bernie Sanders and snubs Joe Biden in her DNC address. And I'm thinking, good morning, Kessler. How you doing? Was this planned? Is that why they gave her 60 seconds? I'm not really sure. Good morning, Balin Bobby at Midnight in Exile. Was this planned? Or was she supposed to use her 60 seconds to, give a... I shouldn't say that, because that would be sexist. Do something for Joe Biden, right? Talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden, with you, I'm not riding, 'cause you always hiding. Campaign like Poseidon. Joe Biden. That's kind of what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said. I'm like, what the hell? Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez only got a minute to speak at the Democratic National Convention Tuesday night, but she made it count as a warning that Joe Biden should not ignore the party's far left wing, nominating socialist Bernie Sanders and making no mention of the presumptive Democratic nominee. Now, I'm not sure if that's right. Okay, so okay, should we just play it? Should we just listen to it, because it's only 60 seconds? Let's play what Ms. Representative Cortez, use that as her. That's more the proper way to address her. If I can get this to pop up, there we go. There she is, looking lovely as always, except when she gives you that until she gives you the donkey. Oh, whoa! Hang on. Pause.
Wealth for the few at the expense of long-term stability for the many.
That's not what I meant to do. Hell, God, this is not being cooperative.
A historic grassroots campaign to reclaim our democracy. In a time when millions of people in the United States are looking for deep systemic solutions to our crises of mass evictions, unemployment, and lack of health care.
Okay, this is jumpy because of my internet.
Here, en el espíritu del pueblo, and out of a love for all people,
whoa!
I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America.
Oh, not even a mention. Not even a mention of Joe Biden. Why ya?
A movement that
Shut
realizes
up! What the hell? Get off my screen! Stop talking!
Of an economy that rewards explosive inequalities of wealth.
God damn it. Here, there we go. All right, so and I'm like, self? Was this planned? Was this planned at all? There we go. Fix that. I don't know. I don't know if this was planned. Why if they gave her 60 seconds to not even mention Joe Biden? Good morning, C. Thomas. Good morning, Hammond Beans. Is that okay? So let me ask you something, Hammond Beans. I got a question. By the way, welcome back, C. Thomas. I haven't seen you for a while. I'm so glad you're here. Hammond Beans, is that like a? Oh God, this is so inappropriate. Is that like an organ at a Mexican Catholic church? I don't know. That's terrible. How can a black person like me be so racist? Anyway, so AOC, in her socialist rhetoric heavy address, she spoke about Sanders' movement to repair the wounds of racial injustice. God damn it. My shit don't work today. Anyway, you're going to hear a bell sometime while I'm talking here. And to repair the colonization, colonization, that's long over. You can't do anything about that now. And if you're talking about colonization, everybody did some colonization back in the day. In fact, throughout history, there have been conquerors and marauders and people who take shit from other people, and it's kind of the nature of the world. Not that it's a great thing, but damn, it's over right now. We're not, whatever, colonization, misogyny, and homophobia, and not once address Biden, who will be crowned as the party nominee. That seems a little crazy to me. Does it seem a little crazy to you? Does she seem a little crazy to you? Good morning, Slapper360. So, Twitter just went nuts, became ablaze in the minutes after her speech with the term, "Did AOC?" trending as people tried to make sense of the speech. The Congresswoman cleared the air in the tweet, which she explained that it was a procedural vote, and she was asked by the convention organizers to second Sanders' nomination because he passed the delegate threshold. Oh, so this was planned. I could have sworn she went off script. Still, the only nod she made to Biden was in her tweet and not her highly anticipated speech. I'm sorry, her highly anticipated 60 seconds that they gave her to talk. But then she said, "I extend my deepest congratulations to Joe Biden. Let's go win in November." And she's reluctantly pledged her support for Biden. So that still, I'm sorry, did the Democrats plan that? Why wouldn't, hi Gun Fox, how you doing? I wonder, oh my God, Gun Fox. I disavow. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not reading it. Sorry. I'm not reading it out loud. No matter how tempted I am, you can look at Gun Foxes. What the hell is that? Okay, hang on a second. God, autoplay some shit. Get off my screen. New York Post. Okay, there we go. The fuck off my screen. Why aren't you going away? Anyway. I gotta think. Now, I didn't see this happen on Twitter last night in person. So, I see. Everything's frozen. I hope you guys can hear me because my entire screen's frozen. I gotta think that if we do have a reclaiming democracy by implementing socialism, which is known to bring up evil dictators, but what the fuck do I know? Hello, Jaeger Pony and Straight Sith Male. How you doing? I gotta think that if the DNC plan, you would think that Bernard Sanders, knowing that he's not going to be the presumptive nominee and that it's pretty clear that Joe Biden is it, right? You would think maybe the DNC would have just said, you know what, or Bernie Sanders himself would have said, I know I got the voter threshold and shit, but how about we try to have some party unity? Because I'm pretty sure all the AOC fans, I kind of think maybe her AOC fans just might be like, fuck it, I'm voting for Bernie now. AOC said so, right? Good morning, Mitch the Ripper. What's up? Sean DW, what's up? Oh, Sean, you're already here. So anyway, just one other article about this. Apparently, Joe Biden has an AOC problem. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez struck a dissonant note in the otherwise well-orchestrated second night of the Democratic National Convention. The freshman congresswoman, I'm sorry, you can't see the whole article. I'm going to change the orientation here. There we go. The freshman congresswoman's highly anticipated speech was devoted to seconding Bernie Sanders' nomination, where much of the program has celebrated the geographic and population diversity of America. Ocasio-Cortez impugned American society for its supposed misogyny, racism, and colonization. I'd give you 3 bells, but I only have 1 working. Good morning, TC Ball. Where much she said it was Sanders, not his rivals, who could lead the country out of its overlapping social, economic, and health crisis. Unlike Sanders, however, Ocasio-Cortez said hardly a word about the actual Democratic nominee. Only Monday, Sanders urged his movement to back Biden in November, and then on Tuesday we learned why he felt it was necessary to be so emphatic. The reason is voters like Ocasio-Cortez. Really? I'm curious as to what percentage. Anyway, now it's no secret that millennials and Zoomers trend left, radically and ethnically diverse and less affiliated with religious institutions than their elders. The rising generation is reshaping both the Democratic Party and national politics. Yeah, they're sending a lot of Democrats over to the other side. Ocasio-Cortez is its avatar. Her failure to endorse Biden forcefully is a reminder that for all the inroads Democrats have made among suburbanites and college-educated white voters, the party is still worried about turnout among young people and minorities. For all the change Biden promises, it's not enough for Ocasio-Cortez and Generation Woke. I doubt the appeals from Caroline Kennedy, Chuck Schumer, Bill Clinton, Colin Powell, Cindy McCain, and John Kerry did much to change their mind. Cindy McCain? Oh my God. They got Cindy McCain there too? Okay, anyway. If America has a ruling class, there can be no doubt after tonight who it backs for president. It's not the incumbent. Well, duh. This second night was more focused than the first. Biden assumed center stage as the nominee, but he did so in a revealing way. The highlight of the evening was the roll call of the states, territories, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia, in which a mix of elected officials, party activists, and men and women from the community touted their homes and their stories. It was hokey, fun, gripping, and happy. And it showed how Biden is content to let others have the spotlight. Because he can't. Because he has a hard time staying awake. Anyway, that in itself would be a departure from the 2 most recent presidents. It took Biden 48 years in national politics and 3 attempts to get from the Senate to the Democratic nomination. In the primaries, he assembled a winning coalition similar to one that gave Democrats control of the House in 2018, energizing that coalition to vote during the pandemic. Amidst concerns about his age and drift to the left is no easy task, one that's made all the more difficult by Congresswoman known as AOC. So, what do you think? AOC is an avatar for the thinking intolerant. Yeah, people are making way too much of this. It was purely procedural, like she said. Sanders still got delegates, so it had to be done. I agree, but I don't. Maybe it's the fact that she kind of she kind of said, fuck Joe Biden in the way she did it. As in, so I don't know. Obviously it's a procedural thing, but it's just strange the way she did it. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to something more cheery. Let's talk about Andrew Cuomo. This is poor cheery, right? It is procedure, I know. But anyway, apparently Andrew Cuomo is targeting, whatever, the police after a rise in crime, saying very little has been done. Speaking at his press briefing on Monday, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo took a shot at the police in his state, snapping, "I announced an executive order on June 12th, which was ambitious. It was called the New York State Police Reform and Reinvention Collaborative. What it said is, we have an issue. We have to address the issue. Very little has been done." Okay, I don't think he said it like that, but the New York State Police Reform and Reinvention Collaborative, an executive order signed by Cuomo on June 12th, stated the following. "Whereas there is a long and painful history in New York State of discrimination and mistreatment of Black and African American citizens dating back to the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in America, and whereas this recent history includes a number of incidents involving the police that have resulted in the deaths of unarmed civilians, predominantly Black and African American men, that have undermined the public's confidence and trust in our system of law enforcement and criminal justice, and such a condition is ongoing and urgently needs to be rectified." By the way, do you know why Eric Garner is no longer with us? I'm thinking about that part of the whereases. Whereases. Eric Garner is dead because Andrew's pops decided that they needed to crack down on the sale of illegal cigarettes. And the mayor, was it Andrew's pop or was it Andrew himself? One of them, whoever, it was either Andrew or his dad. I think it was Andrew himself. They wanted to crack down on illegal cigarettes. And the mayor of New York City agreed with the governor of New York, and they said, we need to crack down on illegal cigarettes. So they had the police, they said, hey, police, we need to crack down on illegal cigarettes, because they weren't getting enough taxes from the cigarettes, because their tax on cigarettes is so high in New York that it's a lucrative business for some people to import cigarettes from other places and get tax stamps. But so Eric Garner was selling, illegal cigarettes, or selling them illegally because he was selling loosies on the corner. And the police had been told that they need to crack down on these people. And Eric Garner was known for selling loosies on the corner, but right in front of a store. And so a guy called the police and said, hey, this guy's selling cigarettes in front of my store again. And the police came and said, oh, you're selling illegal cigarettes, and so we need to arrest you. And then Eric Garner slaps their hands away, and then they got that little tussle where people said that he was choked to death, which he wasn't, because the arm was around his neck for literally a split second. But because of Eric Garner's severe asthma, that he had an asthma attack and couldn't breathe, and then he ended up passing away. May he rest in peace. There's no reason that you need to die over selling some loosies on the corner. I agree. But what did he say here in this whereas recent history includes a number of incidents involving the police that has resulted in the deaths of unarmed civilians? Ha! You kind of had a hand in that, didn't you? Just saying. Whereas recent outpouring of protests and demonstrations, which have been manifested in every area of the state, have illustrated the depth and breadth of the concern. Whereas Black Lives Matter, I, Andrew M. Cuomo, do hereby order and direct as follows. Each local government entity which has a police agency operating with police officers as defined under 1.20 of the Criminal Procedure Law must perform a comprehensive review of current police force deployments, strategies, policies, procedures, and practices, and develop a plan to improve such deployments, strategies, policies, procedures, and practices for the purpose of addressing the particular needs of the communities served by such police agency and promote community engagement to foster trust, fairness, legitimacy, and to address any racial bias and disproportionate policing of communities of color. Now, I'm only doing one bell for that word salad. So what did that executive order actually say? Okay, go through your policies and see what's wrong with it, right? Okay. But, so in this address, he says Cuomo began the segment of his briefing dealing with crime by acknowledging New York City murders are up 29% year to date. Shootings are up 79% year to date. Bronx 60%, Brooklyn 102%, Manhattan 54%, Queens 75%, Staten Island 108%. You cannot dismiss these numbers. Cuomo then argued that the huge numbers of black and brown victims in the murders were a result of... Wait for it. Good morning, Jason Burns. Wait for it. Good morning, Katie Did Skate. Wait for it. They argued that the huge numbers of black and brown victims in the murders were a result of a lack of social justice and a lack of civil rights, saying the following: you cannot look at this reality and say it doesn't exist, because the reality is so clear. New York City, recent data, over 90% of the victims are black and brown. 90% of the victims are black and brown. You want to talk about social justice? You want to talk about civil rights? You want to talk about social equity? How do you explain that? Because brothers are killing each other. Because you wanted them to pull the police back. Well, that's de Blasio, whatever. De Blowhardzio. It's all across the nation. Yeah. Because pulling back the police affect black and brown people the most. And black and brown people are killing each other in their neighborhoods. Anyway, he says, and he continues, it's also upstate New York, upstate cities, shooting injuries up 70% year to date. Albany, shootings up 240, Buffalo 66, Rochester 54, Syracuse 130. So it's not just New York City. And I announced an executive order on June 12th, which was ambitious. It was called the New York State Police Reform and Reinvention Collaborative. Yeah, because the name is what makes it happen, right? Because you called it that, it should automatically work, Governor Cuomo. What it says is we have an issue and we have to address the issue. Very little has been done. Well, I can tell you one thing that's been done. Most of these mayors in these cities have acquiesced to protesters demanding that the police back the fuck off. And when the police back the fuck off, there's very little deterrent to all the murder and mayhem. And you've emptied the prisons because of COVID, koof, the sweet and sour sniffles, the Wuhan, the Wuhan AIDS, whatever. What do you think's going to happen? So he goes, and then he says, this is the best line of all. Listen to this. Listen to this word. Listen to this line. This is hilarious. Denial is not a successful life strategy. Cuomo pontificated. Not in the government, not in your personal life. This state does not run from a crisis. It's not what we do. It's not who we are. And it's not going to deny that this is a crisis. And we're not going to deny that this is a crisis. What do we do in a crisis? Leaders lead and leaders act. This is time for leadership and action. He repeated, denial doesn't work. Well, then let's ignore it, and maybe it'll go away. It's not going away. It's not going away. The relationship is frayed. The relationship is based on trust and respect, and the relationship is ruptured. But divorce is not an option here. Divorce is not an option. We can't say we don't need any police and the police department. Oh, really? And then what happens Oh, yeah, we don't need. And what happens at 2:00 in the morning when someone is coming through the window and you hear the glass break? So divorce is not an option. Well, at least he's acknowledging that maybe this whole police thing idea of cut back is asinine. So now he's painting himself as a tough guy. See, here's the thing. Here's what's really happening. Here's where Cuomo's coming out here, because he's painting himself as tough. In fact, he continues. You have to resolve the and reconcile it, whatever that is. You have to resolve and reconcile it. I understand it's politically difficult. I understand politicians don't like to get involved in politically difficult situations. I don't lust for politically difficult situations, but it has to be done, and it has to be done quickly. What has to be done? What has to be done quickly? How about, hello, Kingslayer. How you doing? Oh, come on, Kingslayer. Jesus Christ. Give me a percentage. I know you're joking. That is fun. I found it funny, but give me a percentage. What percentage of the time would that be the police versus any other nefarious activity? Come on now. Let's not be silly. But anyway, by the way, good morning. I am glad to see you here. That got me going. Here's what's happening with Andrew Cuomo. See, there have been many protests across the country that have been turning to riots, and the Democrats, for the most part, have been very supportive of the protest, kind of not wanting to address the rioting and the murder and the mayhem. Since George Floyd's death, hasn't been like 70 people have been murdered or killed, just as far as, or not killed, not murdered, because there's been way more murders than that. I'm just talking about actual protest-related fatalities. 18, I think. They're 18 or 19. Protest-related fatalities. As people dead as a result of the protest. The peaceful protest, right? And billions and billions and billions of dollars of property damage as a result of the protests, right? When you burn shit down. In fact, in some city building last night in Portland, another fire got firebombed last night on camera. Anyway, and what's happening is, for most of this time, for the last 80 days, is it 80 days now? 79 days, whatever. It's been it's more than 2 months. All of these Democratic politicians have been very supportive of the protesters, which started out a protest and turned into riots, right? But all of a sudden, have you noticed something in the poll numbers for a particular candidate who also currently holds office? He has the funny hair and the orange skin, right? His poll numbers are rising during this shit. And all of a sudden, you're starting to hear some cracks in the Democratic version of what this is. Some of them are starting to talk a little, what's a good word? They've been talking tough all of a sudden. Oh, all of a sudden, the orange guy has been talking about law and order, and his numbers are going up, and Democrats are like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be all against him, and his numbers are going up. What the hell is going on? And so these Democratic politicians, they're starting to see it. They're going, oh, well, maybe this shit isn't good for us. Maybe we need to get a grip and make sure that we address the concerns of the people who are starting to go, hey, dickhead, fuck you. We need the police. Okay, get rid of the bad ones, but we need the police. We need the training, but we don't want the police gone, because black and brown people most affected. Again, as I look through his decree too, he's like, okay, so he says his his executive order of word salad says each local government entity which has a police agency operating with police officers as defined under Section 1.20 of the Criminal Procedure Law must perform a comprehensive review of current police force deployment strategies, police policies, procedures, and practices, and develop a plan to improve such deployment strategies, policies, procedures, and practices for the purpose of addressing the particular needs of the community served by each police agency and promote community engagement to foster trust, fairness, and legitimacy. So basically it says, hey, police chiefs around the state, you gotta go and you gotta review your procedures to make sure you're kosher with the communities, right? Okay. Do they not do that kind of review already on a regular basis? I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe that's why they still have some bad assholes in their departments who do stupid shit that make all the other thousands and thousands and thousands of officers look bad. Maybe? Could that be it? That should have been, if you haven't been doing that, maybe perhaps you should have been doing that already. But this isn't, but you've been backing off in all these communities and now people are just killing each other like crazy, right? I don't know. Maybe the police aren't a deterrent. I don't know. I just find great humor in this. I mean, okay. I don't know if it's not humor, in an ironic sort of way, that he's, now that all this mayhem is getting way out of hand. Oh, wait. Oh, now I gotta be law and order politician now. Cause, we don't want Orange Man to get any more credit. Hey, good news. There is good news. I got to tell you this good news, and this is not related to that at all. Apparently the Kung flu, sweet, sour, sniffles, whatever, Chinese coronavirus, the COVID-19, hospitalizations are down. That's a good thing, right? Does everyone agree that that's a good thing? In fact, at the lowest levels of the pandemic. So where's our exit strategy? I saw an interesting chart yesterday because you notice they're not talking about Florida and they're not talking about Georgia and they're not talking about Arizona and they're not talking about, all these places where they said, oh, Texas. Don't you not hear much about those states anymore? Have you kind of wondered why? Have you wondered why you haven't been hearing about them as much as we've been hearing about them a couple weeks ago because the supposed spike in cases? Well, so New York, I was looking at a chart and I didn't save it, but anyway, so I'm looking at this chart and New York City went like this. Okay. And they had a gigantic spike, but then it went down gradually and their cases are down and deaths and New Jersey had the gigantic spike. Went like that, right? Well, these other states didn't have a gigantic spike when New York did. So they had this little spike because it just didn't get bad there. And then it went down. But then they recently had a little more spike. But now that's going down again. All these states that were talking about 2 weeks ago that had the spikes in cases didn't have a huge spike in deaths, but they had a spike in cases because obviously they're doing tons and tons and tons of testing and they're finding everyone with it. And well, anyway, so you're not hearing them talk about it too much, right? So in this article, coronavirus hospitalizations down to the lowest levels of pandemic. So what is our exit strategy? That's a great question, What is our exit strategy? The media might keep it a secret, but the hospitals have quietly emptied out their beds of COVID-19 patients as large swaths of the country appear to have hit a de facto herd immunity threshold, which might be, they say it might, 50% might be enough to make this less of a danger. Anyway, meanwhile, no matter how much good news we see, those who treat us as subjects continue to create false panic, extend draconian and ineffective restrictions on liberty, and refuse to put out an exit strategy. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. They are rapidly turning this lockdown into our domestic Afghanistan. So it's now become clear from every state and country that has reached saturation levels of the virus that the virus burns out roughly around 20% seroprevalence, the 20% seroprevalence benchmark, not at the 80% threshold the fearmongers had predicted. Whether it's Sweden, New York, or Arizona, the virus is going to do what it does, meaning it spreads for about 6 weeks in a given region and then it moves on. The only question is whether we will continue to destroy our society, mental health, and economy, or achieve herd immunity without adding the man-made death toll to the man-made death toll. Herd immunity is going to happen whether we aim for it or not. Still, Dr. Fauci, the ever-media showman, refuses to understand the simple math. Others like Nobel laureate Michael Levitt, Oxford epidemiologist Sunetra Gupta, and Stanford professor John Ioannidis have observed from day one, much less the science behind it. Fauci said the death toll from herd immunity would be enormous and unacceptable. If everyone contracted it, even with the relatively high percentage of people without symptoms, Fauci said during an Instagram live. Oh my God. I gotta stop. I can't do it. At least for a second before I continue. My, how the world has changed. Oh my God. I mean, okay, so I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm going to read that again and maybe you can figure out why the hell I'm laughing here. This is just hilarious to me. If everyone contracted it, even with the relatively high percentage of people without symptoms, Fauci said during an Instagram live. A lot of people are going to die. The 70-year-old infectious disease expert has been around the world doing the AIDS thing and the fucking Ebola thing and is on in fucking Instagram live with all the Insta hoes and people showing off their photography. He did it on an Instagram live. Okay. I don't know. That's just funny to me. That's the sign of the times. That's the sign of the apocalypse. I'm sorry. Not on NBC News, not on This Is CNN, not on MSNBC, not on Fox News, not on ABC, NBC, CBS, but on Instagram Live. Oh my God. Next thing you'll know, he'll be doing a Tumblr, Ask Me Anything, right? Oh my God, I can't help it. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. Anyway, so this continues. Now let's put aside the fact that it's not like he has an alternative solution anyway, given that countries like Israel and the Philippines had severe and long lockdowns and they were unsustainable, leading to late spread despite universal mask wearing. And that's like in Chile. Chile, they had the most their lockdown was as draconian as Wuhan's was in the first days. Nobody could leave. They had police out there arresting people. And guess what? Now they've had a spike in cases, and now they're going to probably within the next couple weeks, they're going to have the highest death rate in the world, surpassing Belgium. Now I don't count those two little city-state places because they're really just part of the area. But yeah, Chile is about to exceed per capita deaths of Belgium, which has been the highest in Europe. And they had lockdowns. They had serious lockdowns back in, over the last several months. So anyway, Fauci is assuming that everyone must contract the virus. But study after study has shown that an enormous percentage of the population already has partial immunity, which explains why the virus seems to hit the brick wall in most places after reaching 20% of the population, more or less. Remember, the raging spread of the virus in the southern states throughout June and July, well, that did not go on forever, according to the CDC weekly update on Friday. The number of people in the hospital with laboratory-confirmed cases was lower than it has been since the beginning of the lockdown during the week of March 21st, even though we are testing many more people today. So this is, where is this? I don't know where this is. This is just general, but see, this is how the spikes looked in the southern states. As of August 13th, according to the CD surveillance program, those with coronavirus-like illness, CLI, are just 1.8% of emergency department visits, which matches the June 6th level before the surge in the South. That sounds like a wrestling event. Friday, it's the surge in the South. Come on, all see your favorite wrestlers battle it out in the squared circle. Come see the surge of the South. Good morning, Sapphire Dragon. What's up? Anyway, South. Coronavirus patients make up fewer than 3% of patients in every single region of the country. According to the AP, Florida reported about 3,900 new cases of the coronavirus Sunday, the lowest daily total in nearly 2 months. ER visits for COVID-like illnesses are down 63% since the peak in July. So you kind of get the idea that maybe when do we get to call this over is my question. And particularly in my state where they're requiring masks in indoors everywhere you freaking go. I'm going to put the rest of this, by the way, if you want to see the rest of this article, there's a lot of charts and graphs you can check out. It's very interesting. But it's there. There it is in the chat for you. What did I do there? There we go. Let's fix this. Anyway, what's the exit strategy? Can we be done with this shit now? Can we just see now that maybe that whole herd immunity thing doesn't need to be that everyone has to get it? Because, in Sweden, that's not that way. I mean, their cases are down to almost zero, and they never shut anything down. They just wore masks, they did social distancing, they went about their business. And I'm sure their economy is probably doing pretty good for comparative to some of the other countries that said, okay, we're going to shut everything down. Shut it down, motherfucker, shut it down. Isn't there a song like that? Shut it down, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't know. Somebody would know that one. If you know that song, put the name of the song in the chat. All right, let's move on. What else we got? I'm sure you all saw this, but this was funny. Because what were they doing? They were trying to, so before Michelle Obama was going to speak at the Democratic National live stream, someone brought back an interesting little thing about Michelle Obama, and it was kind of I found some humor in it. It was kind of funny because I'm just gonna play the clip as soon as it pops up here. It'll take a second. So when she made her speech the other night, one of the things she said is, I know Joe. He's a profoundly decent man, guided by faith. What the hell's going on here? Guided by faith. Okay, it didn't work. You're going to get an sometime soon. There it is. That was really loud. What the fuck? Or my alert box. I even turned that down. That shouldn't be that loud. Anyway, I hate to break it to you, but Michelle Obama has proven not to be a very great judge of character. And I'm sure some of you have seen this, but I find it so damn funny that I'm going to play it for you right here. Because here's someone else she praised as a profoundly decent human being. Here we go. Speak. Come on. The fuck? Here it comes. I promise. Come on. Come on. Problem when you use cable internet is...
I want to start.
Oh, here we go.
by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day.
Oh, C.S.C. Thomas. Yes, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey.
This is possible because of Harvey.
Did you hear that?
He is a wonderful human being.
He's a wonderful human
being. Good
friend.
And just a powerhouse.
Just a
and
powerhouse.
The fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all
Harvey's
of you should say something not about me or about this place, but about you.
Oh, it says something about
everybody
you.
Everybody here because of you.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Now, let's see. Weinstein was first publicly accused of sexual assault in October 2017 and was charged with rape and other sex crimes earlier this year, but his history of sexual abuse and harassment has been an open secret for nearly 20 years in Hollywood. Everyone knew about it. Like Weinstein, Joe Biden has been accused of inappropriate behavior also, including sexual assault spanning decades. In 2019, okay, we don't need to go on that. I just found I found some great humor that Michelle Obama is such a fantastic judge of character. Yes, she is. Well, you know. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, this is another strong black woman who happens to be the Joe Biden's pick for the. Happens to be Joe Biden's pick for vice president. She has an interesting history of how she uses ethnicity as a qualification, so to speak. So apparently, because, you know, when she first became a senator, they were talking about how she's the first Indian senator. I mean, call center Indian, not casino Indian. And then sometimes she uses her Jamaican heritage when she's talking about if she, you know, ever smoked pot in college, which her dad was not happy about. He thought it was maligning the Jamaican people. And then now, you know, she's, you know, because she went to a HBCU, historically black college university, she likes to play up the, African American side or the black side. I can't decide because a lot of ADOS, African descendant, or ADOS, African descendants of slaves, right? Don't accept her as a African American, but still call her a black woman because she, you know, it works around. Well, this is an interesting story where she's also used kind of melded her Indian heritage, kind of melded it kind of into Asian heritage. So Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris adopted a Chinese name to garner more votes from the Chinese American community during her 2003 run for San Francisco District Attorney, the National Post today revealed. The move is just the latest example of Harris's phony politicking and further obscures claims she's the first African American pick for vice president, which a lot of black people will not give her that. And a lot of black people don't like her. She's not popular. You know, she was not popular. She's not popular in the black community. How long did she last in the primaries? Because all the black support was going to other candidates, Bernie and Joe, and, you know, I mean, she had about as much black support as Pete Buttigieg, to be honest. During the 2003 race, which Harris won by less than 1 percentage point, she adopted the Chinese name He Jinli in a calculated attempt to secure more votes from San Francisco's very sizable Chinese community. The Chinese language media reporting recounted the process by which Harris adopted the name at the advice of a local Chinese leader and friend, Su Rongli. At the time, He Jinli talked about the strategy of winning Chinese votes, suggested that He Jinli choose a unified Chinese name that would be easier for Chinese voters to remember. He Jinli thought this was a good suggestion. I don't know how Kamala and He Jinli translate, because I'm not really sure what Kamala is, because her mother's name's Shamala, so it's an Indian name, Kamala. It's not a black name. It's not the Jamaican name. Kamala is a Hindu name, apparently, that relates to her mother's name, Shamala. Unless they were just making up some names like sometimes we do in our community. But anyway, good morning to the gayest person on YouTube. How you doing? So anyway, Harris was identified as starting the tradition of non-Chinese individuals running for public office adopting Chinese names, as she was the very first candidate to do so. I'm thinking she was the only one, but and she won by 1 percentage point. Just makes me wonder how many of Willie Brown's children were involved in that. Anyway, that's I didn't even, here she is talking to I guess it's a diverse audience. There's a few Chinese people back there, but look back here, it says Harris up here, and it has some Chinese letters here. So she was pandering to the Chinese Chinese community. Good morning, Grazilla. How you doing? Nice to see you back. All right. By the way, it's time to chill. It's time to chill. Okay, so you see her back there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you're here. Is my bots working? Are they even working at all? Oh, they're not. No wonder. Okay. Well, anyway. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. If you'd be so kind, please share this stream, because that's how we grow. That's how a lot of you have come by. I'm going to start having some, well, I keep saying I have some guests. I'm going to have some guests on Friday. Good morning, Wikipedia snippet. Share the show. Hit the share arrow. Share it out on your favorite shows. Share it out on your favorite social media with people that you like and people you think that would like the show. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. Mine's Gab and Parler. I'm very active on Twitter. I do use the others as notifications for people who don't maybe not be allowed on Twitter anymore. There's a few of those. And then also, if you'd be so kind and you'd like what we do, support the show with your dollars. You can do that through the Super Chat program at PDawgKnight.live, or the description down below. There's a Super Chat link in the description. Or if you want to do donations outside, you can use the Streamlabs link. You can use Venmo. You can use Cash App. You can do any of those areas. So support the show, and also your Super Chats do actually support the show, and because the show is sponsored by viewers like you. All right, let's see. I got a little time here. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Convention. I'm going to skip the convention. Everyone's going to be talking about the convention. You can't miss it on Twitter. Oh, speaking of Twitter, this was interesting. So you know that Twitter says, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I need to do this too. Let's check my notifications here. So I got thanks to people. Thank you to. It'll show up eventually. Oh man, I think there's a lot of. You know what? I noticed there's a lot of people using the internet. Thank you, Tech Force Prime, Tyler F, Cindy Rochelle, Cynical Lindsay. All people who have been sharing out the stream today. I can't thank you enough. Tech Force Prime says AOC is so dumb that she would slam the ball down in the opposite team's end zone and then applaud herself, never understanding why her own team lost. That's bellworthy. Anyway, so a couple funny things that happened on Twitter to me. Well, one is just when I saw this, because apparently, if you have noticed that Twitter had been, they've been suspending some, what do you call them? The satirical accounts. Like, they suspended the Babylon Bee yesterday, and now that only lasted about 5 or 6 hours, and they unsuspended them. And then they said, of course, because Twitter always does this, oh, that was an accident. We did that by accident. But they also suspended accounts like Jarvis DuPont. They didn't get the other account that's just like Jarvis DuPont. What's her name? Titania McGrath. They didn't do that one, but a whole bunch of satirical accounts, right? And then they reinstated a couple. But here's an interesting account that they didn't suspend. And I'm just curious why. So here it is. This is the tweet. which is pretty amazing. Does anyone have high quality images of the Trump boat rally that show boat names or registration numbers so I can start doxing? Oh, aren't you special? Aren't you special? Antifa are better than patriots. Now, please. Oh, by the way, I should make this disclaimer anytime I show people's accounts. Please do not, and I really mean this. Please don't. Here, I gotta actually. Let me just read this here because I have a special announcement when I talk about people on the internets. Let me, as soon as it pops up here, I will read it verbatim. That'll make it a lot easier. It's also in the description down below. If my computer would ever cooperate here. All right, here we go. Oh, this is maddening. Very important. The people I talk about in my videos and live streams are just normal people with various opinions and their own lives. I don't need help defending my positions, thus I would prefer you didn't contact them. If you have something new to add to the conversation, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. However, if you feel compelled to reply to them directly on a different platform, I only ask that you do so in a respectful manner, as your treatment of them could also reflect on me. Because they always figure out where you came from. So anyway, that's my disclaimer, and I hope you absolutely. Oh, Midnight in Exile, you are Text Force Fine. Thank you. I always forget who that is, but thank you, and I appreciate you. Your interaction on Twitter, I really do appreciate that. So anyway, that's my disclaimer as far as those kinds of things go. But I just found it funny. Yeah, they suspended. They're suspending parody accounts, satirical accounts, but then you have people like this. Nothing at all. Also, now this was awesome. And I don't even need a script or article for this one. So there was the big mystery, right, on Monday, because President Trump said that he was going to pardon somebody very, very important. I'm sure you saw it yesterday. It was the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, and President Trump decided to posthumously pardon Susan B. Anthony. Okay, Susan B. Anthony was part of the suffrage movement. She got arrested, I think, in like 1870 something for voting an election, and ended up having, and they fined her $100, which was a hell of a lot of money back then. Okay, they fined her $100. She never paid the fine. She was very proud of that part being on her record, right? And so then she ended up dying in 2006. So she never got to see the 19th Amendment pass where women could vote. So, but she was a famous suffragette, right? And so President Trump decided that on the 100th anniversary of the passing of the 19th Amendment, he would pardon Susan B. Anthony. Now, I know a lot of you saw people out there talking and saying, she didn't want to be pardoned. She wore that as a badge of honor, blah, 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 right? However, here's the thing, and because some people were bitching about that. This is one part of the story that I found funny. She didn't want to be pardoned back then. She wore it as a badge of honor because women did not have a right to vote. However, and she died before it happened, but after women got the vote, why would she still wear that as a badge of honor? So I don't understand the argument. Oh, well, she would have said as the badge of honor, blah, blah, blah. No, now it would be appropriate to pardon her on the 100th anniversary of women getting the vote because she didn't need it anymore. She didn't need that badge of honor because women finally got a right to vote, and she was a big part of that, right? But that wasn't the funniest thing or the weirdest thing that happened. I got into a little interaction with somebody because this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. So some woman named Netta on Twitter was a little bit upset about this whole thing that President Trump pardoning somebody, because reasons. But she had a reason, though. She had a reason. So Yamich Alcindor, who is the NPR White House correspondent, tweets out this. President Trump will pardon Susan B. Anthony, found guilty by an all-male jury of illegal voting in 1872 presidential election. Netta replies with this. This man is playing dirty, and she will be on his payroll for this election. It seems there's no point of voting anymore. He is literally taking the election from all of us, and no one is doing or can do anything about it at this point because he is president. Scratching my head, I'm done with the USA. Now, I found this very curious because he said she will be on his payroll. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Who will be on his payroll? She replies, Susan B. And pretty much he already has a group of people on his payroll to corrupt the election. She's just an additional person added to the group. So I'm like, I doubt Susan B. Anthony will be on his payroll. She says, well, it's perfect timing that she gets pardoned right when the elections are coming up, and he can't do what he did in the 2016 election. Perfect timing for what? She's been dead since 1906. It's a posthumous pardon. Thank you, American educational system. And for Netta. Netta's a cute kid there. Anyway, so other people were telling her the same thing, and she's like, I did not know that, but he still has people on his payroll to try to get this election to go his way. Oh my gosh, this woman, this is why if it causes you to walk or swim to the voting booth, you should do it. She says, I'm a black person that gets affected by whoever's in office. I'm still voting, but if Biden loses, I know why, because of things like this that Trump is doing. Oh my God, this woman's brain dead. Don't contact her. I don't care if you like a couple of the tweets, but don't contact her. Black people are never benefiting what we deserve. It's to the point I'm willing to die if he gets reelected again. Woman, what is wrong with you? Well, wait, no, because I wouldn't be able to decide whether I should start with A or Z. Anyway, so that's my... by the way, she wasn't the only person on the internet that was saying things like that. I didn't save any more, but this one, she had the conversation with me, so I just... Oh my God. Would it be funny if Trump would blanket pardon everyone in jail except the pedos? Ugh. They're kind of doing that anyway with the COVID releases, It kind of sucks. Did they look her up? No, she didn't. I couldn't believe. I mean, look, here's the sentence by Yamiche Alcindor. President Trump will pardon Susan B. Anthony, found guilty by an all-male jury of illegal voting in the 1872 presidential election. That's 1872 president. So apparently she can't read the date. 1872. She would be at least 130, 40, something, almost 150 years old if she were just born in 1872. So anyway. Oh, that was just classic. All right, let's do this. I was going to go into, let's find out if there's any breaking news real quick. And then I've got one last thing at the end. What? Video footage appears to show sheriff's deputy initiated altercation with Masai Ujiri at the 2019 NBA Finals. Oh, good Lord. I don't know if I care. I'm so tuned out to sports right now because I just can't do it. Recently released footage appears to show that Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri was shoved twice before pushing back against Sheriff's Deputy Alan Strickland when he tried to reach the court after the team won the NBA championship in 2019. Strickland sued Ujiri in March, but a new countersuit filed by Ujiri says that Strickland falsified the encounter. And I don't know if they have the video on here. They were keeping people off the court, so he came from a direction nobody expected, and they got into a scuffle. If you know what, the sheriff's deputy shouldn't have shoved him. Whatever, don't care. It's sports. It's not cool. Let's see what's trending in news though. Let's not just news. We're only going to check out the new stuff today. Apparently, Kamala Harris is eligible to serve as U.S. president. Fact checkers confirm. Thank God the fact checkers are out there. I think we talked about fact checkers. What did I say? Fact checkers? Anyway, thank God they fact checked that, because I didn't know that she was born in Oakland. Don't care. Okay. Again, the fact that this is up 2 days in a row. Anyone see the strategy here? As if people were asking this question other than a Newsweek article that teased this. Again, this is just a setup. This is a setup to get people pissed off. Okay? Nobody asked if Kamala Harris was eligible to serve as U.S. president, but Newsweek writes an article about the possibility of her not being eligible because her parents hadn't been the year. Some fucking crackpot conspiracy about her parents not being eligible, yada, yada, yada. She was born here. Yes, anchor babies are a thing. But now on Twitter puts it up for 2 days on their Explore tab, because the reporters who asked President Trump about it got him to talk about it, even though in the end he said, I don't know anything about it. I guess we'll look into it. Okay? But they got him to talk about it. So now they have this whole new Trump's doing the birther thing with another black woman who most African Americans of people of African descent don't consider her a black woman. Even though she's a woman of color. She's a BIPOC. Do you know that's the new term now? They stopped using POC. It's BIPOC, Black and Indigenous People of Color. Anyway, she's not an anchor baby. She was, her parents immigrated here. She wasn't an anchor baby, but both her parents immigrated here from somewhere else. And they were both, I think, professors at one of the colleges near Oakland, because that's where they lived. They weren't at Stanford yet, I don't think. He's at Stanford now. But they're both immigrants, and then they met here and they married here, and she was conceived and born here in Oakland, California. And so she's a U.S. citizen. And they became U.S. citizens also. Hello, Heroic Nico. I see you just got here too. So there you go. Fact checkers, bam-a-lam. Whoa, fact checkers, bam-a-lam. Whoa, fact checkers, bam-a-lam. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Now you got that damn song stuck in my head. All right, let's see. Ask the WHO for a COVID-19 Q&A is hot news. World Health Organization hosts their weekly live addressing questions around COVID-19, featuring their Executive Director for Health Emergencies, Mike Ryan, and COVID-19 Technical Lead, Maria Van Kerkhove. Okay. I don't particularly care, but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's going on. Also, we've got Australia signs okay, there again. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's nomination of Bernie Sanders for president was standard DNC procedure, political journalist explains. Well, thank you, political journalist. I'm so glad that you did that. And maybe it makes sense that one of the socialists in the House of Representatives nominated Sanders. So whatever. Viewers weigh in on the virtual format of the Democratic National Committee. Yeah, they've been taking a beating over this. People were quick to share their thoughts as the DNC took on a unique format this year. For the first time in history, the Democratic National Convention will be virtual. Typically, thousands of delegates gather together, but while it it will look and feel different, Democratic delegates say it's a big year. Yes, of course, because it's the most important election in our lifetimes, just like every other election is. Let's see what else here. Megan Summer Fitzpatrick says the roll call is underway. A virtual trip to America's 57 states and territories. Oh, exciting! Where they will cast their votes for Biden and Sanders one by one alphabetically. The real-life convention. At real-life conventions, this is one of the fun events. By the end of this, Joe Biden will officially be the nominee. Yippee. Anyway, there's something really this person says there's something really delightful about the DNC convention roll call, actually zipping from state to state and introducing the country to a new cast of characters and communities in each vote. You know what? Actually, this is kind of cool. If you ask me, will this picture come up here? Where, they get to do their nominee from their state and have a nice little backdrop. That's kind of cute. Hawaii, North Carolina, and New Mexico with an indigenous person doing the nominee for Joe Biden. Okay, there you go. That is kind of cool. Here's Las Vegas. See, here's what they did in Las Vegas in front of the Las Vegas sign. So, you know what? That may be the most entertaining thing about the Democratic National Convention this year. A Eurovision-esque whip around going on for Democratic nomination. Rhode Island, the calamari comeback state, is the clubhouse leader. Oh, so this guy's got a plate of calamari. Apparently that's what Rhode Island is known for. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what else is going on here. Anything really, really important going on? Tracy Ellis Ross kicked off night 2 of the DNC convention with a statement about black women in politics. Fan-fucking-tastic. Don't care. Tiger King Zoo is closing. Now that is news. The current owner of Oklahoma Greater Winewood Exotic Animal Park, Jeff Lowe, announced on Tuesday that he was voluntarily forfeiting his exhibitor's license following a USDA suspension. Well, shit, that sucks. The Greater Winewood Exotic Animal Park in Netflix Tiger King has closed permanently. The zoo says all the animals will continue to have excellent care and consequently will no longer be subject to USD inspections or PETA spies, which now means they're probably all going to be emaciated wrecks of themselves. I don't know what that means. Anything else here? It must be a slow news day. Oh, Anderson Cooper has a heated exchange with the MyPillow guy. Let's check this out. So, here, hang on, and we'll get a good laugh at this. I'll pause this. The CNN host interviewed MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell on CNN on Tuesday after Lindell told the media that he discussed an unproven treatment for COVID-19 with Trump. I wonder which one that was. Oh my God. Lindell claims that he met with Trump in July and disclosed Olandrin as a potential therapy for COVID-19 and described Trump's response to it as enthusiastic. Oleandrin has not proven effective in treating COVID-19 and can be lethal if consumed improperly, according to medical experts. You know what? Do these freaking morons, I don't know anything about this particular drug, but do these asshats realize that any medication on the planet can be lethal if consumed improperly? That statement doesn't make any fucking sense. Of course, the video is via Oliver Darcy, who's an asshole. Any medication consumed improperly can be lethal. And all those commercials on TV for what's the one? Oh, the one that cracks me up because I always think of a dance party. Something Jans. Anyway, any of the medications you see a commercial for on TV for any ailment on the planet, if you take them improperly, they can kill you. If you drink water improperly, it can kill you. Did you know if you drink too much water, it can kill you? Did you know that? You can die from water poisoning. Oh, yeah, Grill and Pirate Pete. There you go. Exactly what I was just about to say. Well, I said that already. How about you? What? Let's watch the interview with Anderson Cooper. Let's see this joy. The joy.
Any meaningful way can cure COVID, and you have a financial stake in the company, you would profit from it if this is being sold widely. Is that right?
Okay, hold up, Anderson Cooper. Hold the fuck up, Anderson Cooper. Okay? Hey, Anderson, do you own any stocks in any companies or any company whatsoever? Do you have any companies that might have, let's say, something that they sell on CNN? If you endorse one of those products that are on your channel that you have stocks in, do you think that you could benefit from those stocks monetarily? Does that mean that what the fuck? Here we go.
From it if this is being sold widely.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Morally, is that right?
Well, I was contacted on Easter Sunday after, that I've told the whole country to pray for the answer for this pandemic. And it's a great administration has had me, anything I hear out there of whether it be good sanitizers or cures or anything, to bring it back to the task force. So this guy called me on Easter Sunday and said he had an answer to the virus. And I reached out to my friend, Secretary Carlton, who's on the task force, and he's a doctor, and he looked into it all, got everything from the company, and he said this is the real deal. It's been tested by over 1,000 people to be safe. Medical tests.
Wait a minute, sir.
Wait
a minute, stop. There's no public.
Did you ask him a question or not, Anderson? He's answering your damn question. Oh, well, I don't want to get this out because this might be wrong. And you know what? Notice. They're interviewing him. Anyway, let's watch this.
Studies about this. There's no.
Yeah, there is.
There's no human
There's
trials that have been published anywhere.
Yeah, there's safety tests that was done in 2016 for over 1,000 people that it's safe to take. And if it's safe to take, that's when I started taking.
Where is this study? The only study or report out is one report from the University of Texas. That was a preprint study, and that was only involving cells in a test tube.
No, there's been human studies, absolutely human studies, and it's been tested for phase 1, phase 2.
Where are these human studies? Why aren't they publicly reviewed?
Okay, I'm not. No. We're done. I don't care. Somebody will study it and they'll figure it out. But Anderson calls us. You really are like a snake oil salesman. I don't care. And Jonathan Capehart, I do what Jesus have me do, said the My Pillow guy to Anderson Cooper. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You know what? Y'all, I'm not going to say anything else. Anything else here? Anderson Cooper. Cindy McCain, yes. Thank God Cindy McCain shares an emotional video featuring her late husband's unlikely friendship with Joe Biden at the DNC. While former U.S. Senator and presidential nominee John McCain's widow, Cindy McCain, did not formally endorse Joe Biden, she shared a video on the second night of the Democratic National Convention about her husband's friendship with Biden. John McCain was a prominent Republican who ran against Barack Obama and Joe Biden for the presidency in 2008, and possibly was one of the worst candidates the Republicans ever had, because really the Republicans didn't like John McCain, but they tolerated his sorry ass. All right. Sorry. You may be a fan of John McCain. You may not. Not necessarily me. Anyway. Anything else super exciting on Twitter? Oh! Britney Spears is seeking substantial changes to conservatorship. What does that mean? New court documents request that Britney Spears' father, New court documents request that Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, be removed as her sole conservator. What the hell? What? Isn't she? Why is she a conservator? What does that mean? Anyone know what's going on with Britney Spears? Her sole conservator. What does that mean? Someone, the illegal mind, tell me. Well, let's read this article because you know what? I don't do celebrity stuff, but this is weird. And I don't know, maybe because I don't know, what conservator means. This is from the LA Times. I'm just going to read it at the beginning to see what the hell this is talking about. Is it because she's a drunk or drug addict or something? I don't know. Britney Spears is asking a California court to remove her father, Jamie Spears, who has long handled the decision-making in both her personal and professional life, as her sole court-appointed conservator? Huh. The pop star's attorney requested that Jody Montgomery, the temporary licensed professional conservator overseeing her protracted case since September, be named permanent conservator of Spears' personal affairs according to court documents obtained by the Times. When she went bald crazy, her father was put in charge of her finances. Oh, and is he like ripping her off or something? I don't know. We are not at a point where the conservatorship must be changed substantially in order to reflect the major changes in her current lifestyle and her stated wishes, Spears' attorney Samuel D. Higham III wrote in documents filed Tuesday in Los Angeles. Yeah, 'cause she's 38 years old. The 38, isn't that weird? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Britney Spears is 38 years old. Holy shit. Oh my God. I'm so fucking old. Hey, our first super chat of the day. Thank you, King Slayer Damocles. Wait, I thought his first name was Bomb, not John. Yeah, John McCain. John McCain, bomb, Iran. Motherfucker, I swear to God, I'm so glad he never became president. I mean, Bob was bad enough with the fucking, fucking up Libya and burning down and throwing bombs at everybody. But John McCain would have had us in 17 more wars. We'd have our fingers in everyone's pot, and we would have been fucked. Anyway, thank you, King Slayer Damocles. I appreciate the $2 first super chat of the day, top super chat of the day. Hey, y'all still have time to beat that. Anyway, okay, so when she went nuts and there's protesters too. Look at this. I wonder if this is a peaceful protest. Britney Spears fans and demonstrators rallied to oppose her conservatorship outside the Stanley Moss Courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. Oh my God, they had a peaceful protest for Britney Spears. Leave Britney alone. Leave her alone. Leave Britney alone. Anyway. Oh my God. Anything? Okay, let's just look. Free Britney. Yeah, free Britney. She's 38 fucking years old. Oh my God. That hurts. That hurts my head. It really does. Let's see. How much is 100,000 out of 350 million? Yeah. You realize that, because they're really harping on the 170,000 deaths in the United States, which is a lot of people. A lot of people died from this COVID thing, but it's still 0.005% of our population. And there are a bunch of European countries that have a higher death rates, but they love to talk about that, 170,000 deaths. It's not good, but is, I don't know it seems clearly nobody has been able to avoid this. In fact, cases are going up in some of these countries that initially had great responses and had no cases. Like, suddenly there's new cases in Taiwan, there's new cases in New Zealand, new cases in Germany. And I got a feeling that the numbers out of China, this is here. Let me get this. Because I got to tell you a secret, just so nobody else hears this. The cases in China, the numbers there, I have a feeling that they're not accurate. Don't tell anybody I said that, but I have a feeling they're not accurate. Just saying. Anyway, it doesn't look like there's anything else pressing on Twitter right now. Oh, by the way, Laura Loomer. I forgot. This is, who Laura Loomer is, right? The kind of a whack job right-wing journalist. I mean, and I just call her whack job because I don't know if she's a whack job. I just know that what's the word? She's very bold, and she's done some weird things. She is officially a candidate for the House of Representatives in Florida. And you know what? Honestly, I really hope she wins. Because I want to see the day, the very first day, in the House of Representatives when Laura Loomer walks into the Sacred Hall of Congress of the House of Representatives and sits down and not very interested, depending on where the current Speaker of the House is, whether the current Speaker of the House is still the Speaker of the House or not. I want her to catch eyes with Nancy Pelosi. And I want her to catch eyes with Nancy Pelosi and just give her one of these. That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Anyway, she and someone makes a point here. Laura Loomer has been banned or forcibly removed from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Uber, Lyft, PayPal, Venmo, GoFundMe, Teespring, Medium, CPAC, and Shakespeare in the Park. And she won the GOP primary by double digits. In fact, there were like 5 candidates in her primary, and she got, I think, over 50% of the votes in her primary. It wasn't even like you didn't even need a runoff for it. She got over 50% of the votes. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, the other thing about that I think is very interesting. So all these platforms that she's been kicked off of, she is an official candidate for the United States House of Representatives. Do you think maybe these platforms might be forced to put her back on their platforms? Otherwise, wouldn't that be election interference? I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. Florida House, if you live anywhere near Florida House District 21 or know somebody who lives in Florida House District 21, and this is something I think this might be the first time I've ever said this in the internet age. But I think that you need to get Laura Loomer elected just for the lulz. Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, thank you so much for being here today at the Morning Night Live. As you know, I am here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for people around the other parts of the world that don't use our local time zones. And if you'd be so kind, please make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure that you share the stream. Please, sharing the stream is huge for me. I'm getting close to that 1,000, but now it's trickling one person at a time, like one every 5 or 6 days. So haven't had any new subs for a while. So I got to work on that myself. There are things I can do to make that happen. Also, follow me on Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler for notifications, and for the lulz on Twitter, because I am very active there. And finally, if you want to donate to the cause, it would be greatly appreciated. You can do that through the Streamlabs link down below, or at PDawgKnight.live, or on Venmo, or on Cash App. All those links are in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, Bear Cock! And hey Larry, did we ever determine how you pronounce the K-O-C-H? Is it cock or coke? Is it Bear Cock or Bear Coke? I can't decide, because some people pronounce that Coke, some people pronounce it cock. and some people pronounce it Koch, but I don't think it's Koch. It's either Bear Cock or Bear Coke. I need a phonetic spelling, my friend. I need a phonetic spelling. But anyway, I gotta go. Thanks, everybody. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.